If I'm going to descend those stairs, I'll have to make sure that I'm as ready as I can possibly be. Let's see here. That spell is a good one to cast, free action. I will also cast negative plane protection, also a good idea. And we'll also cast water breathing, just in case the level is submerged in water. Then we'll cast prayer, always a handy thing to have. Then I will cast aid, just to make it so that I can hit a little bit harder. Then I will cast protection from evil. And then I shall ready my spiritual hammer. I think I'm as ready as I'll ever be for this level. I may be over-prepared, but I'd rather be too prepared than not prepared enough. Let's go. Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Dungeon Hack, and when last we left off, we finished the 5th level of this dungeon. It is time to move down to the 6th level, and get to the point where we're 1/3 of the way through. Nearly. Down we go, and we'll get a lot of experience for going down this floor. Is it going to be much like... It's not going to be much like the previous floor. It's worked like the previous one, but these walls are made of wood. And there is a key right here for me, a bone key. I wonder who lived here. Whoever lived here, they were powerful enough to have teleporters. Many teleporters. I don't want to step into them unless I have to. But at least this key will be serviceable here. What enemies are in... Those are Minotaurs! You know what? I'm really happy to see Minotaurs. Minotaurs in comparison to, say, anything that... Ooh, that, however, was a spell. That was a spell because I accidentally equipped a wand rather than my flail. This is a Wand of Frost. At least we know what it does. It's probably a very powerful offensive spell that I've wasted a charge of. That's fine, however, because at least we know what it is. I certainly hope that this creature only appears in this dungeon as a tapestry, and not in the flesh. I highly doubt that. And we've seen that before, that carving of what looks like a demon. We're seeing a fair bit of that demon around in the decoration of this dungeon. So we're going to enter into this teleporter. And that is another Minotaur by the sounds of it. Let's have a look at this. What could these symbols mean? Their origin is not familiar to me. Like this whole dungeon. It's just strange in its design. And I imagine they hit really, really hard. So we're going to keep our distance as best we can. What about the other enemy on this level? Is it something that we can easily take care of? Is it an enemy that we've seen before? That would be nice, as long as it's not the Ghost Warrior. But so far I haven't found any enemies that I really have to worry a lot about. And that is a wyvern. We can take care of wyverns, which means that we don't have to worry about level drain. We do have to worry about enemies that hit really, really hard. And I'm going to double check that that is a wyvern by showing the creature totals here. Yep, that is a wyvern, and we have killed a lot of enemies. The most enemies that we've killed are were-rats, which isn't surprising considering the fact that they were on 2 levels, but we managed to kill 42 wraiths and 48 ankegs. We killed 100 enemies on my last level. That's a lot of enemies. I need to press forward and watch out for more Minotaurs. Why would the Minotaurs be so afraid of wraiths? They can hit so hard that surely they could kill the wraiths in a single hit. There is one thing to say about these Minotaurs. They're not going to get... Oh, hello! They're not going to get lost in this dungeon. And that was only 5 points of damage. That really wasn't that impressive. What's here? Ah, a book. Books are something that are very dangerous, and I'm going to be very careful about using it. Because books, depending on your alignment, books can do different things. A book can either be beneficial, in that it will give you a positive thing. A book can do nothing because you can't understand it. Or a book can be negative and will damage your character in some way, be it the loss of experience, the loss of all spells memorized, the loss of a level. Think of them as like the Book of Exalted Deeds and the the Book of Vile Darkness in 3.5 D&D, in that if you aren't in the right alignment, reading them is a really bad idea. And there is a way that we can look through to that wyvern. And what is this? This is a protection from poison scroll, which, when wyverns are involved, is actually a really good thing to have. That said, we have restoration, which will do a pretty good job of keeping us protected from poison. There are a lot of teleporters on this level. There are a lot of them, and there is an enemy behind us. We're going to need to take care of that enemy. What enemy is it? Is it a wyvern? Is it a, is there a wall that we can go through somewhere? I'm going to have to check this corridor. Definitely going to have to check this corridor for some kind of secret. And they do have a lot of health, the Minotaurs. That is something they do have. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have a look on this southern wall. Actually, something I need to do is that which level has neutralized poison? We have a neutralized poison prepared. I was already ready for this eventuality. And are there... well, there won't be one there. There isn't one here. I'm just curious as to how that enemy managed to get to there. Could have gone through a teleporter, to be fair. That teleporter leads back to here, though. I want to go into this one, but I'm a little bit wary of what's going to be on the other side. Because you can't see what's on the other side, so for all I know, it could just be death on the other side. So I'm going to heal up as much as I can before we step into that teleporter. And I'm still not going to read that book. I'm very wary about reading that book. There is an enemy right... there was an enemy here. It's gone now. It's actually stepped through the teleporter. There it is, one Minotaur. The enemies can step through the teleporters. And the enemy just stepped through it there. Where did it go? There it went. Hello, and now it's just gone through the teleporter again. And hit us once more. And now it is dead. We really don't want it to keep stepping through that teleporter, because if it keeps doing that, we'll just keep getting hit. What is in here? Now, why do you suppose these are here? Probably to contain a prisoner, Celadran. Just call it a hunch there. Now, what is in here? Does this link up to an area we've already been to? It's over here. So this level's primary puzzle is the fact that there are loads of teleporters around. I mean, I can accept that that's a pretty decent puzzle. And it's not loads of pits or anything like that. I imagine pits in this game might very well be instant death, and if we get to the point where we constantly... there is another teleporter. And there is a Minotaur. Hello, how are you? And we hit you for 17 points of damage. Meanwhile, you hit us for 4 points of damage. I feel like, and we need to go through here to find where you are. Hello, there you are. I don't like the fact that the enemies can hit you effectively through a teleporter. It's counted... it looks like it's counted as a square that is adjoining the one that, you're standing in. Like if I was stood here and they're in the teleporter square, even though they're on the other side of the map, it looks like, hello, Mr. Wyvern. It looks like that they could still hit us. I don't want this wyvern to hit us, because that is poison, and I don't want poison to hit us. Poison is terrible. Also, moving over here means that it's less likely that this enemy will be able to do anything like go into... there we go! Much better. Go into that teleporter and then hit us. I don't want to get poisoned. So what is over here? Likely a lot of twisting and winding corridors that lead to nothing. Or maybe some loot. Aha! Obvious switch is obvious. Leading to nothing, obviously. Let's keep going. What is up here? There is a wyvern! And the wyvern actually attacked us, which is not good. That was a lot of damage, and I think one of our spells expired. I'm just going to go around this corner, and the wyvern is dead. There is a suit of leather armor. I'm going to equip it. It's far worse than what we're currently using. Is it magical? Does it matter if it's magical? Because it's rubbish. It's not even magical. Oh well, and there's nothing in this niche. Oh, game, when are you actually going to give me a suit of armor that I can use that's not the chainmail? At some point, the game is like, okay, here, have a suit of splint mail. It's very, very slightly better than what you're currently using. And against certain enemies, it's not even that much better. Because in AD&D, weapons had certain attack types, like they do in 3.5, but armor wasn't just a flat bonus. It had like there was a table where it would say this weapon is better against hitting splint mail or better against hitting leather armor, and you had to know what armor you were using that would be better against certain things, and I'm actually going to rest before I step through that teleporter. There are just so many teleporters on this map. There are just so many of them. I'm very worried about all of them. Very worried, because they're going to be tricky. Just to navigate around and explore, and I'm still not reading that book yet. I'm very nervous about that book. That book could cost me a level of experience. That book could make it so that all of our spells get unmemorized, or you could just lose all spell casting. I believe that might be something the books can do. It's just like, you remember that spell casting you could do? You can't do that anymore. But they can be good too. They can raise your stats. They can... raising our strength by 1 would actually be kind of good, because that means we'd be able to equip the other bracers that we have. We completely missed troglodytes, by the way. Troglodytes are a decent enemy in the sense that they can reduce your strength, and the thing about that is that that doesn't matter to us. And there's an enemy over here. Hello, Mr. Wyvern. Maybe it's the case that the enemies that respawn are specific to a certain location, like that maybe a Minotaur cannot spawn where a Wyvern would? Maybe. I don't know. But there is a teleporter here, and once I get my hammer back, which went over there and then bounced back to where I am, I'm going to step into this. This room has a Wyvern in it. It also has an item in it too. Oh no, it doesn't. That's just the hammer. So maybe I want to start marking on the map where these various teleporters go. Can I do that? That's a good question. But that brought us over to here, and there is nothing here. I'm going to double check, but it doesn't look like there are any secret walls or anything like that. Nope. There are not. There's nothing in here at all, except one enemy. So we're just going to go back. In fact, we're going to go back to this area. And then we're going to go back to the main corridor. We're going to go back there because we really need to explore these. There are enemies that are coming out of them, which is what I think's happening. It's not that enemies are respawning, it's that enemies are just coming out of these teleporters. That said, enemies respawning here would be quite good, because we'd be able to get a lot of experience. We are up to 203,000. That's a lot of experience. We'll want to take care of the enemy to the north first, I think. Is it a Wyvern? It's a Minotaur. Hello. I'm just going to hit you here with this flail. Done a lot of damage. And that foe is dead. But which of these do we want to go into first? Are you the Wyvern? You're the Wyvern. Alright, you move far slower. You're a really easy to defeat enemy. I imagine you do poison, but we may never find this out. Now we want to go... I think we'll go to this one first. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? Well, the worst that could happen is we could appear in a room right next to a Minotaur, and it hits us for 6 damage. And there's a Wyvern right there. And we are poisoned. Right, what we want to do is we want to leave here right now. We want to get the holy symbol out, and we want to cast Neutralize Poison. Celadran no longer feels the effects of the poison. That was fortunate. I could feel it coursing through my veins and slowly killing me. It's a good thing I acted quickly. Otherwise, I might not have been alive now to regret stepping in there so foolishly. That is what can happen with teleporters. You have no idea what's on the other side, so sometimes you'll just step through and there will be an enemy that will just murder you. Where is... Oh my word, there are a lot of enemies in there. You know what? We're going to wait to go in there a long time. That led to here, there were 3 enemies in that room. I think I'm going to pick the northern one first. Purely because, oh wow, that was ridiculous. I'm actually going to heal up, because we've lost a lot of our spells. We lost Neutralize Poison. I feel like we may need another one of those. Just, 1 more, 5 more, 20 more. Seems like a good thing to have ready. We'll just swap all this around, and then we'll move on. Into here, which hopefully also doesn't have... That is a Minotaur. I could deal with 1 Minotaur. We need to deal with the Minotaur very quickly, however. There we go. Which then means that we have one enemy, which is this enemy here. And we got poisoned again. That's fine. That's fine. We can deal with you first, and then we'll deal with the poison. Just, there we go. We'll quickly heal up this poison right now. I don't know if it instantly kills you. I know it instantly kills you in some D&D games, so I really don't want to take a risk. But poison is nasty. Also, it's a very bright shade of green in this game. You can definitely tell when you're poisoned in this game. There we go. Not as bad as D&D poison. There is a platinum ring that we have just got. Is it a magical platinum ring? That's a good thing to check. Is it magical? The answer is... Where's Detect Magic? It is magical! Do I want to put it on? Do I? I suppose I do. I mean, do I have protection or remove curse ready? Do I have it prepared just in case? I don't think I do. There are no enemies in this room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare remove curse. Just in case. We don't need water breathing right now because we know that there isn't any water on this level. We're going to rest and I'm going to equip that ring. And we're going to see what happens. Knowing my luck, this ring is going to remove all of our spell casting or something. We can remove it, so what does it do? Let's see, 16, 15... I think one of our stats went up. It did! Our constitution went up. So now it's at 16 rather than 15. 19, 18, 19, 14, 16, 15. It's not a bad thing to have, a ring that improves your constitution. I think that makes it that much less likely that we're going to be afflicted with poison. I'll take it. I'll have that ring. Seems good. Alright, spiritual hammer time. And we don't need to explore this area now. I think we've pretty much unfortunately explored nearly everywhere. Because there's that room, there's this room, there's only the room to the north now. And that is not a good room. So we're going to have to go south here and just take care of this enemy. Hello, Mr. Wyvern. How are you? Just flying around somehow in a very narrow corridor environment? I think you are. Maybe an enemy will come through that teleporter, and we'll be able to just kill them. Also, it's going to take a long time for that spiritual hammer to come back, isn't it? Yes, it is. But it's back now. Excellent. And that enemy is dead. Now, how many enemies are in this room? There are still 3 enemies in that room. Still 3. Got to be very careful of those enemies. Because, oh my, are those enemies a problem. They're a huge problem. They're just going to get us absolutely decimated. And you know what? I'm going to check that next time. Because there's no way I'm delving into there right away, and I don't know what this book does. I'm very wary of reading it. Maybe I'll read it now, though. No, I think I'll wait. I'll definitely wait on reading this book, because, Knowing my luck, it'll be like, read this book, your strength is now 2. And it's like, as long as I don't take these gauntlets off, I'll be fine. Or worse, your wisdom is now 2. Whereupon, we can't cast spells ever again, and then we're just the worst fighter. Or it could be an awesome book, or it could be a useless book. There's every chance it could be either, but +1 to Constitution. I'll take +1 to Constitution. It doesn't lower a stat. No, it's just +1 to Con. In 3.5, that would add hit points onto our total, but not right now. That's fine, however. I'll take +1 to Con. So I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later. What concerns me is how they're surviving down here. There isn't that much food, and there are lots of living creatures that need food. Perhaps I'll find the answer further down. Or perhaps not. I haven't found many answers in this place. Only questions. And no orb. I'll have to go through his teleporter at some point. But not yet. I'll just have to think on my strategy on how to be victorious. And then I'll go through. Yes. Patience. Patience and forward planning. And hopefully I'll be able to survive. Later.